Hi guys, I'm Andy. I'm a team member for DT Baits and I'm also senior sales for Total Fishing Tackle, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Tolsen X Boat range. The X Boat range starts from around the £1,200 mark and can go right up through a range of different specifications, up to the sort of the £4,000 mark as various bundles that we do. What I'm going to talk to you today is I'm going to talk to you about one of the most popular boats we do, which is the X Boat with the TF740 fishfinder. The TF740 is an all-in-one integrated fish finder and autopilot GPS system. What that means is not only will it map your lake bed to show you the topography over what you're fishing over and what the substrate is, it will also let you map and save your waypoints so that you can autopilot back to those spots at a simple press of a couple of buttons. What that means is you can be fishing incredibly accurately, but you're also fishing very precisely, and it gives you that speed and that convenience so that you can get your rods out quicker and save time on the bank in doing so. The boats themselves comprise a set of lithium batteries which will give you about a 6-hour run time. Runs a pair of batteries, and you've got a dual hopper system on the boat which you can adjust with the divider, and you have motorized hoppers on the inside. The motorized hoppers are quite helpful in that what that enables you to do is it enables you to change the way that you're going to bait. If you, like many anglers, you want to just freely drop a rig, you can quite easily do that and just let the lead and the bait fall freely through the water, so you have a tight baited spot, no different as if you were going to tightly spod to a marker float or to an area. However, you also have the option, if you're like me, you can actually start to spread bait with these, which is how I prefer to do these. With the motorized hoppers, you can have them open independently of each other. So once I've dropped my rig and I've felt that lead down, what I will then do is I'll drop the left hopper, which contains my loose feed. However, what I will do is as I drop it, I will cancel the command on the handset so that the hopper doesn't open fully. What this means is if I have the boat on a slow troll, I'm sprinkling bait in and around the area once I've got it to the location using the autopilot, and I can then spread my bait rather than having it all in one hit. The session that I'm fishing at the moment, the boat has certainly accounted for those fish using that 740 fish finder. The fish finder itself, as I said earlier, is a all-in-one GPS. This morning on the session, I was very aware that I had a large number of fish showing over me and the bobbins were remaining motionless. My initial assessment was to swap to possibly looking at a zig if they were up or in the water. That also didn't provide me any activity. So using the autopilot system on here, I was able to send the boat out accurately to the area, and the fish finder itself was able to show me what was going on over the spot. The 740 is advanced enough and sensitive enough if your baited area is being fed on and the fish are stirring that bottom up. If you have the sensitivity set correctly, you will actually see some of that substrate being disturbed on here. It will show us almost like the low-lying weed has suddenly appeared on the area, or there are particles of it in the water column, and that was what I was then seeing. From that, I was able to assess that not only was I being fed on, but I was most likely getting done on the rigs. So the rods were replaced, they were rebaited, slightly smaller hook baits, and using the autopilot, I was able to go back out, replace the rods accordingly and get them nice and accurate. A tiny bit more bait spread around in the area, and very quickly action did soon follow, and I've since had a brace of fish not long ago, up to 25 pounds on this session, and I'm pretty sure there will be more to come. The 740 is able to save a multitude of locations and features. The GPS, as I said, is very straightforward. To save a location, or to save or to call a location, you simply press the red button, which looks very much like the pin location that you would have on Google Maps. You can choose your save location, and this is capable of saving up to 500 spots. You can scroll down, and if you want to save a location, you simply press the enter button, select new, and then press enter again to save. If you want to call a location, then you simply press the red button again, and it will ask you, do you want to go to that location? Press it the third time, and the boat will go to the spot. Once it reaches that location, it will apply counter thrust to brake on the area, so you'll know you're bang on the money, and then from there you can release the hopper with the FlySky handset, and you can fill your lead and rig down. Make sure you're happy with it, you haven't had any bow in the line or anything along those sorts of lines, and then from there you can obviously then proceed to drop your loose feed, whether you want to do that directly over your rig and bait quite tightly, or if you want to spread bait like I do, and like I'm doing on this session, where I'm, as I said, I'm using that right hand hopper and I'm letting the boat drive around in a slight arc around the back of my spot, so I'm sprinkling some crumb and some boilies, and now for this session I'm also using some sweet corn, just to try and invoke a little bit of a quicker feeding response. And again, all of those baits I've glazed up with a range of liquids from the DT range that I'm using here today. The other feature the 740 does offer, which is quite handy to a lot of people, is you also have a map guideline on here, so that you can actually see when you want to map your swim, you can track where you've been. It will also tell you your distance of how far you are from your location, and it will track the depths accordingly. So again, if like at the start of a session you want to find those spots, get those rigs out, then you can do accordingly. So you can map it and get as much detail. And for all of you French anglers, or for those of you that fish a lot of different venues, there's also a feature on here which is called KML file mapping. That involves going onto Google Earth. You can find the lake that you're going to visit, you can trace the outline on Google Earth, and you can save and export that KML as a KML file onto a memory card. The memory card will then fit into the slot on the bottom of the 740 unit, just under here, and you can then import that file to your 740. What it will give you is it will give you a predetermined outline of the lake on the 740, and if you can see any visual features that you like when you're saving that file on Google Earth, you can actually mark those as points of interest. The 740 is then advanced enough you can actually call those locations when you arrive at the lake. So if you can see an aerial photo of a gravel bar or a plateau, you can actually go to the lake and you will know where that is. It will be saved, so you can investigate the depths and the substrate further using your 740 fish finder to help put you more fish on the bank, both home and abroad. The 740 boat come in at present from Total Fish and Tackle from £2,400, and they are available with a range of accessories, from brass prop upgrades to make the boats quicker and more efficient on their battery life, to upgraded carry bags, and you also have more recently winch cameras and future bar handset upgrades as well, if you'd like something a bit more robust on your handset. They are also available, as the boat I'm using here, in some of the customs. So if you don't want a standard black boat and you're like myself a bit more of a tackle tart, you can go for some of the custom designs here, which not only mean they look nicer on the bank, it also makes your boat very more identifiable to yourself as well. There are other boats, as I say, in the range, and if you'd like more information on those, or you'd like to see some of the specifications that are available, then you can go to our website and visit totalfishandtackle.com, drop us an email, or alternatively ping us a message through Facebook, and I'll be more than happy and I can give you a lowdown on any of the other specs and availabilities present.